A young girl named Félicie and her best friend Victor decide to run away from the orphanage where they live and embark on a dangerous journey to Paris, hoping to fulfill her dream of becoming a great dancer. Today, we're recapping the story of the 2016 animated film Ballerina, also known as Leap. Félicie is a spirited, dreamy girl living in a quiet village in the French countryside. Her biggest ambition is to become a world-famous ballerina, believing there's a whole world waiting for her beyond the orphanage walls. Her best friend Victor is also an orphan, less daring but always supportive. He often helps Félicie hide her antics and cover up her mischief. Félicie frequently tries to escape the orphanage, which saddens Victor, who can't imagine life there without her. Still, Félicie promises that when the day comes for her to leave for good, she'll take Victor with her. One day after lunch, the two are assigned to dishwashing duty. Félicie, unable to resist her passion, starts dancing while she works, causing several plates to crash and shatter. The nun running the orphanage scolds them and cruelly advises Félicie to abandon her silly dreams, insisting that dreams rarely come true. That afternoon, Victor gives Félicie a photo of one of France's most prestigious ballet schools, located in Paris. He promises that if they escape together that night, he'll take her to the Paris Opera, where she can become the greatest ballerina in the country. Meanwhile, he plans to work hard and become a famous inventor. At dawn, while the other children are fast asleep, Victor sneaks into Félicie's room disguised as a nun. They quietly head for the exit, but are spotted by the orphanage guard, ℭ𝔬𝔭𝔠𝔯𝔦𝔤, who chases them through the hallways. To escape, the duo races up to the roof, where Victor reveals his crazy plan. He's been studying chickens for months, and based on their wings, built a contraption to help them fly over the wall. Unfortunately, he realizes too late that chickens can't actually fly. But with ℭ𝔬𝔠𝔯𝔦 gaining on them, he decides to test the device anyway. Victor grabs Félicie, sprints to the edge of the roof, and leaps off. To their amazement, the invention works. They glide through the air and land safely on a cart. Furious that the kids got away, ℭ𝔬𝔠𝔦 jumps on his motorcycle and gives chase. In the chaos, Félicie loses her beloved music box, a keepsake from her mother. Victor heroically retrieves it and hops on the back of ℭ𝔬𝔠𝔦's motorcycle to rejoin her. After a wild chase, Victor distracts the guard and makes him follow the cart while he and Félicie flee on foot. They eventually hop onto a passing freight train and finally lose ℭ𝔬𝔠𝔦 after a brief accident. With their escape complete, Félicie is thrilled to be closer to her dream. But her joy dims when she realizes her music box has been damaged. Seeing her disappointment, Victor tries to comfort her and promises to repair it. The box is the only thing that was found with Félicie when she was left at the orphanage. During their train ride, the two take a nap. By morning, the train reaches Paris. They hide in a crate of apples to avoid detection. Once in the city, Félicie begins searching for the ballet school, and the two get separated when Victor is attacked by pigeons. He falls into a boat and tells her he'll meet her the next morning. That night, while wandering the quiet streets, Félicie spots the building from the photo Victor had shown her. She sneaks inside and finds herself in a practice room where a ballerina named Rosita Mori is rehearsing Swan Lake. Mesmerized by Rosita's graceful movements, Félicie watches until a security guard catches her and drags her out, suspecting her of theft. Just then, Odette, the building's cleaner, steps in and tells him to let the girl go. She advises Félicie to leave, but the young girl waits outside until Odette exits so she can follow her. Odette is skeptical of Félicie's story about being an orphan with nowhere to go and assumes she's just another street thief. Still, Félicie insists and even offers to help her clean the grand staircase. After hours of scrubbing, they finish the job. But Regine, the cold and bitter mother of a student, is furious that Odette had help and dumps a bucket of water, forcing Félicie to start over. While cleaning again, Félicie hears familiar music and follows the sound to a rehearsal room where Regine's daughter Camille is practicing. Camille mocks Félicie and boasts about her own upcoming admission to the prestigious Paris Opera Ballet School. When Félicie reveals her own dream of becoming a ballerina, Camille cruelly claims she'll never amount to anything. To make things worse, she finds Félicie's music box and tosses it out the window. Just then, a mail carrier arrives with Camille's acceptance letter to the ballet school, the very place Félicie longs to attend. Enraged and heartbroken, Félicie takes the letter and decides to impersonate Camille to gain admission. At the opera, Félicie meets the school's director and begins her first day. From the start, it's clear to everyone that she's not a trained dancer. Moments later, renowned ballet master Louis Marant enters and announces that they'll be holding auditions to select the next dancer to play Clara in The Nutcracker, opening on Christmas Eve. Every day, one girl will be eliminated. Later that day, Félicie meets Victor near the Eiffel Tower, where she shows him her broken music box, and he promises to fix it. He then shares some exciting news. He's landed a job working with Gustave Eiffel himself, designer of the Eiffel Tower. The night before, he'd met a man named Moran in a bar, who turned out to work for Eiffel. Now, Victor has a chance to become a true inventor. Victor is shocked to learn Félicie got into the ballet school by stealing Camille's identity. Before they can argue further, Victor is swept away by a passing cart, separating them again. Back at school, the auditions continue. Félicie struggles and performs poorly. She's on the verge of being cut, but when another student fails to recover from a split, Marant decides to eliminate her instead. Félicie barely survives the first round. She later meets Rudy, a top student and talented dancer who mocks her lack of skill. At that moment, Odette discovers Félicie is at the school and feels betrayed by her earlier lie. Félicie explains that she never meant to deceive her. She only took the opportunity because dancing is her deepest dream. Touched by her sincerity, Odette agrees to train her. From that day forward, Félicie begins waking at 5 a.m. to train. Odette helps her learn to dance more delicately, improving her posture and technique. With Odette's guidance, Félicie improves and passes another round of auditions. Impressed, Rudy asks for forgiveness and invites her on a walk. During a dance, she slips but isn't hurt. Later, Félicie tells Victor she might be developing feelings for someone at the opera. Victor is clearly jealous but tries to stay supportive. He takes her to his workplace, where Eiffel is planning the Statue of Liberty. Félicie is amazed. As training intensifies, Félicie reaches the final round of auditions. She tries to replicate the leap she saw Rosita do, but fails and falls. Victor visits, and Odette meets him for the first time. That night, they go to the same bar where Victor met Warin, and Félicie impresses the crowd with her dancing, unaware that Marant is watching and quietly impressed. Later, Victor tries to kiss Félicie, only to realize she doesn't feel the same way. The next morning, on her way to her final audition, Félicie runs into Regine and Camille. Regine is there to expose her deception and get her expelled. Odette defends her, and though Regine tries to have Odette fired, Marant steps in. He acknowledges that Félicie lied, but he admires her dedication and potential. He gives her one last chance. If she wins the role of Clara, she'll get a scholarship. If not, she'll be expelled. That night, Félicie learns that Odette was once a star ballerina herself. Marant had even loved her, but an accident during a fire ended her career. Even so, Odette is determined to help Félicie succeed and intensifies their training. During the final round, only Félicie and Camille remain. Camille mocks her once again, trying to shake her confidence. But Rudy reassures Félicie, calling her the most talented dancer he's ever met. He asks her on a date, which makes Victor even more jealous. Victor plans a candlelit dinner on the Eiffel Tower, but Félicie leaves without giving him an answer. As she prepares to leave with Rudy, Odette hands her the shoes she wore in her final performance and urges her to rest before the audition. Félicie ignores the advice and heads out. Victor's dinner plans are ruined when he sees her arrive with Rudy, and a fight breaks out between the two boys. Embarrassed and frustrated, Félicie leaves and sleeps on the school rooftop. The next morning, she's late and exhausted, but is still allowed to audition. Her lack of sleep and missed training cost her. She falls twice. Marante reluctantly gives the role to Camille and expels Félicie from the school. With her dream crushed and nowhere to go, Regine seizes the chance to get rid of her for good and sends her back to the orphanage. This time, however, Félicie doesn't try to escape. Greasy grows concerned when he sees the light in her eyes is gone. One night, after falling asleep, Félicie dreams of her mother and feels inspired again. She decides to start dancing once more. She picks up the same pair of shoes she was wearing when she was sent back and begins to train as if preparing for a real performance. After hours of hard work, Félicie tries to escape again, but is caught by the guard. Instead of turning her in, Greasy helps her this time and gives her a lift to Paris. After saying goodbye, Félicie finds Odette and apologizes for how she acted. Now fired by Regine, Odette is living in a small attic room at the ballet school and invites Félicie to stay with her. After making up, Félicie looks for Victor, but he refuses to speak to her. Hiding under the table, he silently hands her the music box and says goodbye. She thanks him and leaves. Later, while cleaning the hall for that night's show, Félicie overhears Louis-Tour complaining that Camille's performance, while technically perfect, lacks emotion and heart. That's the difference. Camille is flawless but soulless, while Félicie dances with passion that inspires others. While Félicie is cleaning the stage, Camille appears and challenges her to a dance duel. As they dance, Nora calls the other students to come watch. Camille knocks Félicie down twice, but Félicie gets back up and nails her signature jump. Ashamed, Camille confesses she doesn't love dancing and only does it to please her mother. She says Félicie should take the stage instead. Louis-Tour praises her honesty. Félicie celebrates with Odette and invites Victor to the show. She's proud to see Victor rebuilt his wings, this time inspired by pigeons, not chickens. Just as Félicie tries to reconnect with him, Regine shows up and attacks Victor with a tool. She then goes after Félicie. Camille tries to calm her down but fails. Félicie runs and climbs the Statue of Liberty. Victor sees she's in danger and flies up to help. At the top, Regine nearly knocks Félicie off, but Victor saves her just in time. Furious, Regine jumps at them but gets tangled in ropes. Victor then takes Félicie to the opera. She arrives just in time to perform with Rosita. That night, Félicie achieves her dream, dancing beautifully before a full audience. Odette watches proudly, moved to tears, while Louis-Tour appears beside her to comfort her. So, what did you think of this movie? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.